Part 1: African Ancestry. What if your ancestors evolved some of the most remarkable survival adaptations on Earth? African populations contain the greatest genetic diversity of any human population. This is because modern humans first evolved in Africa over 200,000 years ago, giving more time for genetic variation to accumulate. Many African populations have inherited adaptations that helped ancestors survive intense sunlight and challenging environments. One well-known example is darker skin pigmentation, which provides greater natural protection against ultraviolet radiation and helps reduce DNA damage from excessive sun exposure. Certain populations also possess genetic variants that offer partial protection against diseases such as malaria. The sickle cell trait, when inherited from only one parent, can reduce the severity of malaria infection, although inheriting two copies causes sickle cell disease. Research has also identified differences in muscle fiber distribution among some African populations. Certain groups may have a higher proportion of fast-twitch muscle fibers, potentially benefiting explosive athletic movements. However, these traits vary widely among individuals, and training remains the biggest factor in athletic success. The greatest hidden advantage may simply be extraordinary genetic diversity, which gives scientists valuable insights into human evolution and disease resistance. Transition. Next, let's travel to East Asia, where thousands of years of environmental adaptation shaped another fascinating genetic story. Part 2: East Asian. Why can many East Asians comfortably eat seaweed that others struggle to digest? East Asian populations have developed several unique genetic adaptations over thousands of years. Some individuals possess gut bacteria capable of breaking down complex carbohydrates found in seaweed, likely influenced by long histories of consuming marine foods. Another well-known adaptation involves alcohol metabolism. Many East Asians carry a variant of the ALDH2 gene that slows alcohol breakdown, causing facial flushing after drinking. While often considered inconvenient, this reaction can discourage excessive alcohol consumption. East Asian populations also show adaptations to colder climates in some regions, including differences in body fat distribution and metabolism that may have helped conserve heat. Certain studies have identified genetic variations affecting hair thickness, sweat gland activity, and tooth shape, reflecting long-term adaptation to local environments. These examples highlight how natural selection responds to geography, climate, and diet over many generations. Transition. Now let's examine South Asia, one of the world's oldest and most genetically diverse regions. Part 3: South Asian. How did thousands of years of agriculture shape South Asian genetics? South Asia has been home to complex civilizations for thousands of years, resulting in remarkable genetic diversity. Many populations show adaptations linked to hot climates, including efficient sweating and heat regulation that helped people remain active in high temperatures. Long histories of agriculture influenced genes involved in digesting starch-rich foods such as rice, wheat, and millet. Scientists have also identified population-specific immune system adaptations that may have improved resistance to local infectious diseases throughout history. The region's extraordinary genetic diversity reflects countless migrations, cultural exchanges, and environmental pressures over thousands of years. Rather than one single genetic profile, South Asia contains hundreds of distinct ancestral groups with unique evolutionary histories. Transition. Next, we'll discover how Europeans adapted to colder climates and changing diets. Part 4: European Ancestry. Why can many Europeans drink milk throughout adulthood? One of Europe's most famous genetic adaptations is lactase persistence. Most mammals lose the ability to digest lactose after childhood. However, many Europeans inherited genetic changes allowing them to continue producing the lactase enzyme throughout life. This adaptation likely spread alongside cattle farming, providing an additional source of nutrition. Lighter skin pigmentation also evolved in many northern populations. Reduced sunlight made vitamin D production more difficult, so lighter skin allowed more efficient vitamin D synthesis. Some northern European populations also possess genetic variants associated with cold tolerance and seasonal daylight adaptation. These changes demonstrate how human evolution responds to environment, food availability, and lifestyle over thousands of years. Transition. Now let's explore the incredible survival adaptations of indigenous Americans. Part 5: Indigenous American. How did the first Americans survive some of Earth's harshest environments? The ancestors of indigenous Americans crossed into the Americas thousands of years ago, adapting to environments ranging from Arctic tundra to tropical rainforests. Some Arctic populations developed genetic adaptations supporting efficient fat metabolism, allowing diets rich in marine mammals and fish. Other indigenous groups evolved physiological responses that helped them thrive at high altitudes in the Andes, including adaptations related to oxygen use and blood circulation. Centuries of environmental adaptation also shaped immune system responses and metabolism suited to regional diets and climates. These evolutionary changes highlight remarkable human resilience across some of the planet's most challenging landscapes. Transition. Our journey now takes us to the Middle East, where civilization and harsh deserts influenced human evolution. Part 6. Middle Eastern. How did ancient desert environments influence human genetics? The Middle East has served as a crossroads connecting Africa, Europe, and Asia for tens of thousands of years. Many populations developed adaptations supporting survival in hot, dry climates, including efficient water conservation and heat tolerance. The domestication of livestock also contributed to higher frequencies of lactase persistence in several Middle Eastern populations, allowing adults to digest milk. Genetic diversity in this region reflects thousands of years of migration, trade, and cultural exchange along routes such as the Silk Road. The result is one of the world's most historically interconnected genetic landscapes. Transition. Next, let's head into Southeast Asia, where tropical forests and islands shaped human evolution. Part 7. Southeast Asian. Could living in tropical rainforests actually influence your genetics? Southeast Asia contains some of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on Earth. Populations here have evolved adaptations related to tropical climates, including immune system responses to local pathogens and efficient regulation of body temperature. Long histories of rice agriculture influenced dietary adaptations and carbohydrate metabolism in many communities. Because the region consists of thousands of islands, populations often developed unique genetic characteristics through long periods of relative isolation. Today, Southeast Asia remains one of the world's richest regions for human genetic diversity. Transition. Finally, let's travel across the Pacific to discover the remarkable adaptations of Oceanian ancestry. Part 8. Oceanian ancestry. How did humans survive on some of the world's most remote islands? Oceanian populations include the indigenous peoples of Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia, whose ancestors accomplished extraordinary ocean voyages. Some Melanesian populations possess genetic contributions inherited from Denisovans, an ancient human relative. These inherited DNA segments may have contributed to immune system function and adaptation to local environments. Polynesian ancestors developed physiological adaptations supporting long-distance ocean travel, endurance, and survival across isolated islands. Island life also influenced metabolism, body composition, and resource utilization over many generations. These remarkable evolutionary histories remind us that every ancestry reflects thousands of years of adaptation to unique environments. Outro. Your ancestry tells a fascinating story, not about limits, but about survival, adaptation, and human evolution. Every population on Earth carries unique genetic strengths shaped by thousands of years of natural selection. Yet genetics is only one part of who we are. Lifestyle, education, nutrition, environment, and personal choices have an enormous influence on health and success. No ancestry is biologically better than another. Each represents a different chapter in the incredible story of humanity. If you enjoyed learning about the science behind human genetics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for Body Decode USA. We'll continue exploring the amazing biology hidden inside the human body.